Alright, what's up, guys? So I got a video request from I Hate New Jersey. He wants me to talk about bragging about being from the hood is extremely cringe. And I agree, man. That doesn't mean you're a tough guy because you grew up in a rough area, you know? Like, it's not something to brag about. Like, all because you grew up in the trenches and see a bunch of gang violence, or you witnessed a lot of crime, you grew up in this certain block or this certain road that's very dangerous, isn't something to brag about at all. Like that's terrible that to grow up in that environment, and you never asked to be born there, and your mental health can get ruined seeing all that shit. Like, I can't even imagine that, you know? I grew up in the suburbs, and I'll never understand someone that grew up in the hood in their shoes, you know? Definitely difficult to deal with when there's people hostile down there, there's people struggling in poverty, just getting by, right? Like, these people are bragging about being from the hood and, like, saying, oh, I grew up with food stamps, I grew up like with a single mom. I grew up with where there's drug dealers on the sidewalk, you know? I grew up a rough life. I'm tougher than you. That's just annoying, man. It's like they're trying to say that they're better than you or something, when really, what's there to brag about being from the hood, you know? Like, I hope everyone that is from the hood and shit can get out of there, you know, and live a better life, so they wouldn't have to witness all that craziness, you know. Yeah, a lot of rappers do this type of shit too, though. They'll like brag about their hood all the time. Like, I grew up on Burke Street, like what Meek Mill says, and it's fucking rough down there, and like it's just annoying, you know? I remember that was a cool thing when I was listening to rap in high school. Like, they made it sound cool, you know, because of how they rapped with the beat, and it seemed badass, you know? And I thought it was cool also, you know, which is stupid to me, obviously. But once I realized things, like, this shit is not cool at all, you know? Like, people are trying to get involved in gangs just to try to get a quality of life, you know? They're risking their lives at the same time, you know? Like say they have families, they're risking their families of like getting involved in this, you know? And they hold up these gang signs and shit, like, that's cringe, man. And it's like bragging they're from the hood, and it's pathetic, you know? Like, if someone's from the hood, like you try your best to get out of there, and that's not an easy thing to do, depending on your situation, you know? Like, if you are born with these bad genetics, it's gonna be harder, it's more challenging, you know? And it's hard to get out, basically. And no matter what you have and stuff, like, it's still hard, because what you see in your product, your environment, it's gonna make it difficult to try and find ways to get out, you know? Like, seriously. Yeah, it's like a tough guy act, pretty much. Like, look, I went through all this shit, you know? Like, I grew up here, you know? It's almost like the suffering Olympics in a way, when people say, like, I grew up in the hood, and they're bragging about it, you know? It's kind of what it's like to me. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a hard life. Like I'll never understand it. You know, like I don't know what it's like, and I don't want to know. 'Cause it's terrible to live in the hood. Like in Philly, there's a bunch of fucking violence down there. Like in North Philly, West Philly, there's a lot of shit that happens in Kensington with the drugs and then there's just a lot of robbery. There's a lot of stuff down there that's terrible. And why would someone want to brag about it? Like I'd rather not even brag about it at all and try my best to get out. You know, something. Yeah, and I think it's worse when there's people that are like wannabes in the suburbs and they're trying to say I'm from this city, you know, when they never even grew up in the hood, you know. Just something else. I remember some people in my high school were like that, you know. I was kind of like that a tiny bit. It was like a fucking phase, you know. Because I guess it was the cool thing to talk about because of rap, you know, but it isn't. Trying to think of anything else with this one. Yeah, I mean, you hear it in rap songs, yo. Like, if you talk to someone from there, there's gonna be people that are bragging about it, you know? Not all of them. There's people down there that just don't want to brag about that at all, and they never asked to be born there, and they're trying their best to get out, you know? But it's something else, man. Like, what'd you think? Like, say if someone asked you that question, like, what was your childhood like, and you grew up there? Like, I wouldn't even talk about that really. I would be uncomfortable, you know. I don't get how these people are comfortable talking about bragging about being from the hood, you know. I don't know. I just don't understand it. I guess it's just a tough guy thing and trying to say I've been through a harder life than you type thing. It's something. Yeah, I feel like those type of dudes that or people that talk about this shit, it's just like attention seeking too, you know. It's what it is. And it feels like that dudes that say they're brag about the hood, it's like there's women that are down there that are attracted to that, you know, that brag about it. It's just, you know, I don't understand it. A lot of these people that brag about the hood do a lot of degenerate stuff too, basically, and cause a huge problem, and it's bad, you know. Like they see other people doing it, then they're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do it too," you know. Like I said before, I never grew up in the hood. I always grew up in the suburbs, so I just never know what that's like. It's definitely a hard thing to live with, that's for sure. And I'll say if I was in their shoes, I don't even know if I would be able to get out, you know? That shit's very stressful and the people are hard to deal with. But I'll catch you guys later.